It's another Tuesday. We're here, and guess what? It's just a conversation. Tonight we have Minister Hayden host, Minister Donovan, Brother Matthew, and the one and only Andrew Smith. personal trainer Andrew Smith is in the building tonight. And Matthew, what's the topic?
Well, the topic for tonight, I was told that you are a personal trainer. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
And how long have you been doing it?
Well, all right. So it all started in Jamaica. It started about 4 years ago. What made me, got into the lifestyle was pretty much a local gym that was close by to my house. At the time, girlfriend at the time, we were together and everything, and I wasn't working. She was working, I wasn't working. So every day, because the gym was across the road, every day I would hear like the guys working out, at the gym, and I was like, yo, I need to go up there and see what's going on. So it was a Friday, I remember. Friday, I went up to the gym to check it out because it sounded like it was always a good vibe, at the gym. So I went up there, I saw a bunch of guys working out, women, everybody coming in, and I saw the atmosphere, how happy everyone was, coming to the gym. Because we already know that when you go to your job, it's a stressful thing a lot of the times. And I was able to see that, people were able to use the gym as a platform to get away from reality. So I went up there and I saw it, and I spoke to the guy that owned the gym. I told him I wanted to get started, but I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to lift or anything. I didn't know anything about nutrition or whatever. And he was like, hey, tell you what, you seem like a good kid. I'll guide you for a couple of weeks. I'll help you to hit the areas that you'd want to hit to achieve the goal that you want to. So I was like, okay, that'll be great, because I'm confused. He was like, okay, just pay the fee, to come to the gym, and I'll guide you for a couple of weeks. So I did that, and the rest is pretty much history, man. I just started to hit the gym like crazy. I started to seek information. Google the best way to seek information, and I was able to, get myself from at the time when I just started, I was like 160 pounds, because I was a skinny guy. So I was 160 pounds, and when I started to work out with these guys, I went up to like almost 180. And I started to look defined in everything by myself, and by, seeking information. So that's where it pretty much started. And, where helping other people started was there was this lady that came to the gym. She was overweight. And I mean, I'm the type of person that when I come to the gym, everybody knows I'm there. I'm always hype, always friendly, talking to everyone. And she noticed. But that's a great thing we came up with this topic. She was insecure. She was insecure.
This is right, because a lot of people, when they're at like a certain stature,
Yeah.
they don't feel as confident. It's like if I look at you, I'll be like, man, you could be like transforming, like,
Yeah.
can I get this body?
Exactly. I remember she was super insecure. She didn't even want to talk to me in the first place, but I guess she just mustered it up in the last part, and she came to me and she was like, hey, I see you all the time, see you work out and do your thing, and you've gotten some amazing results. How can you help me? And I was like, well, I mean, what I'm doing is what I know. What you see that I'm doing is pretty much what I know to do for myself. I don't know how to help anybody else to achieve their goals, especially, the state that you're in, with all due respect. And she was like, that's okay. I really dig your vibe and everything. Can I just work out with you? I go, okay, I'll let you do the same workouts that I'm doing. You can hit the cardio and come do the compound lifts with me or whatever, and just see where it goes from there. It's okay. So we started with her, and she started to every time I go to the gym, she would be there before me. She would get on the treadmill. She'll be there waiting for me, and we work out, week in, week out, and I just started to see her just change from doing the same things that I was doing. I don't know what she was doing health-wise because I couldn't guide her with the nutrition part at the time because I didn't know squat, to help people to lose weight and all that stuff. So I guess she was doing pretty well with the nutrition side, but the workout side and what I saw, the results that I saw that she achieved, it was just crazy, and that was like the confirmation for me that hey, you need to be a part of this lifestyle. You need to start helping people, and that's when it all started.
Speaking of helping, right? The topic, I didn't mention it, but I like where you're going. Well, the topic is, what does it take to help people as a trainer to overcome their insecurities or the limits that they place on themselves?
What does it take? Wow, that's very broad, man, because it's kind of different for each individual. For me, what I would try to do as a health coach, help to motivate people, and personal trainer, for each individual that I would come across, I would personally try to tap into who they are. Try to find out what bothers them, what their weak points are, what they're afraid of. Fear is like the biggest thing for almost everybody. Everybody's scared to do what they have to do in order to get from point A to point B. There's always this wall of fear. So fear, is just for me to tap into what they're scared of and help them over that wall to show them that hey, there's literally nothing to be afraid of. Don't be afraid of anything. Once you make a move towards whatever you want to do, and you see the light after that, there's literally nothing that you have to be scared of.
Is that the hardest part, to get them to acknowledge their
Exactly.
feelings?
It takes time. It's a process. It takes patience. You have to be with them week in, week out until they start to realize for themselves. Because you can be talking for a long time. It's up to them to realize for themselves. So
And then mentality-wise, you have to be mentally strong too.
Exactly.
Because I remember when I first started with him, my first day, he was like on the treadmill, he's like, run. And I was like, bruh, the gym is packed.
Exactly.
And you think about a lot of stuff like, okay, if I start running and I fall, people gonna look at you like, look at this clown. But I think like once you just start and you start doing something and you get yourself motivated, because you have to motivate yourself first.
Exactly.
And that's where everything starts from. Once you start and motivate yourself, it's just like coming to church. You start, but you got to keep doing it.
Exactly.
So once you stop, then guess what? You go right back into that old regime.
Exactly.
And I remember like when I first started with Andrew, I was running at 3.5, 5.
Yeah, 3.5.
And now I'm up to 8 miles an hour. Last minute, like trying it out. Yeah. And it takes mental first, forgetting everything around you.
Exactly.
That's why the song that we sing, forget about yourself and concentrate on God. It's the same thing. You forget about everything around you and concentrate on yourself. Because that's where it starts. He always says something to me in the beginning that stuck with me for up until this day. He said, your future self will thank you. And that's something that always stuck with me. My future self will thank me. And when you talk about like getting like your self-esteem and stuff up, when the weight start falling off you and you start seeing a difference, you start to get your mindset like, yo, because I started with him, I was 386. Now I'm 332. I'm 54 pounds lighter. And when I look in the mirror, I don't see the big guy no more. I'm starting to see like where I'm going to be. And it's just like anything. Once you start, you're looking at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly.
You want to see the finishing line.
Exactly.
And even when I get to the finish line, I'm still gonna be with him like, yo, let's go.
Exactly.
Let's go heavier or something. I'm gonna be there to motivate him, like motivate ourselves.
Exactly.
But it's just the thing, just to start. Yeah. And just like he's gonna talk about relationship, and give you like some pointers, and once you start, man, and you keep motivating yourself and keep going, self-motivation is the best thing. You can't just sit there and hope for people to motivate you all the time. If you don't motivate yourself, then guess what? What's the sense of you doing it? Because now when I look at myself in the mirror, I say it's me versus me. It ain't me versus nobody else no more. I'm competing against myself. So if myself don't want to go, I'm gonna force you to go.
True.
You know, just the other day I worked 4 a.m., got off work at 4, went and worked out with Andrew, and then left there, went home, took a shower, went back to work at 9 o'clock at night.
True. Try it.
That's motivating myself. Like, listen, you have to do it. You have to get it in.
Try it.
And once you have that mentality, everything else is like,
True, definitely. And goals are very important too. When you like literally write down, like you have your goals written down in front of you, like if you want to get to a certain point in life or you want to achieve something, when you have those things written down, say you have them written down in your room or wherever, yeah, you pretty much are you're holding yourself accountable to that. So you have to do what you have to do in order to get them. If you don't, you're gonna be frustrated and be like, oh man, I gotta get these and I have to do what I have to do to get there. You know? So that's something I developed for myself in order to get over that hump also, you know, in the past of me being inconsistent and caring about what other people think about me and all that stuff. So when I literally have something down that I want to achieve, you know, I don't care about what anybody else thinks of me while executing it. You know what I'm saying? For example, we go to the gym, and this is what I try to drill in Dwayne and his wife also. Stop caring about what anybody else thinks around you. Yeah. If you see people around you looking at you, just know that it's probably someone in a position that is probably in the same position that you're in, and they're trying to lose weight or whatever. So they'll look to try and relate to you, right, to see what you're doing to try and get to that point. So don't even care about them. The people who are even, say that, like, for example, somebody like me who's like in a good shape or whatever, if it's, we know what it takes to get to that point. So we respect that. Mm-hmm. So if you go into a gym where there's you see a lot of guys that are well into shape, just know that they didn't always look like that. They didn't always know what to do lifting, and they didn't know what to eat and all that stuff. You had a lot of guys that weren't in good shape at all. They just went through the same process. So that's how you got to look at it like that.
They just started before you.
Exactly. They're just at an advanced point into their journey. So when you go into the gym, bro, it's crunch time. You see me when I go into the gym, I hammer. I don't care about what anybody else thinks. You know what I'm saying? Once you develop that mindset, that's when you realize, or you start to see yourself doing whatever you went there to do. You're gonna do it to the best of your ability.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, because I started off there, and like now it's like I'm looking at him like, bro, that weight is like, come on. He's like, no, chill. He's not going there yet, and I'm like ready to like, just like, go beast mode.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, take it back, chill.
You're his coach and his wife's?
Yes. I train both him and Shaniel, and also Gilia.
Minister McClarkin.
Yeah, also Gilia.
So can I ask you this?
Yes.
Would the insecurities start off in the mind? Because you mentioned the mind frame, right?
Exactly.
So usually before it gets to a place where somebody feels uncomfortable with their outer, do you think they feel uncomfortable with something in the mind?
Most definitely. That's where it starts. It starts in the mind. It starts where you know, the biggest thing, the biggest problem in the mind is anxiety. You get anxious. Your heart starts to race. You start to panic. Nobody wants to feel like that. That's why a lot of times people shy away from whatever. If you understand what I'm trying to say. That's the problem. Anxiety is like such a horrible thing, man. You know, especially when it gets when it turns out to be a really severe case. You know, it's a horrible feeling that some people need help with.
Paralyzed.
You know what I'm saying? Some people need help with, you know, getting them over that hump. You know, so it starts within the mind, and not everyone can deal with it, you know, in the best way possible. Sometimes you need a coach, you need somebody to help you to develop that, you know, that motivation, you know, high self-esteem and all that stuff. And that's where I come in with my clients too. You know, when Dwayne started out with me, he didn't want to do much, man. He didn't even want to come to the gym without Shaniel.
Now I'm ready to go whenever.
Yeah. Yep, he didn't even want to.
So who was the driving force between Chanel and Dwayne?
Driving force between both of them?
Yeah.
Oh man, I would say That's a
Because
tough one.
50-50.
he just seems. I understand that he wanted to get healthy, but
Yeah. Oh man. All right. So when they just started out, I'm gonna try and put this in the best way possible. Shaniel kind of started out with a fearful mentality.
what do you mean by that?
In terms of she was kind of scared that it was going to hurt, or with the diet thing and all that stuff, she kind of started out timid. Now she's a beast. She's a beast.
Heard that shit now? We were talking about you.
Yeah, Shaniel's a beast right now. Shaniel is an athlete. Like with all the lifts that I, taught her how to do, how to execute the lifts and everything, she looks like all perfect now.
Yeah.
When you see her now, you think she's been lifting for a long time, and within the short space of time that she was able to do that, it's crazy. And Dwayne is doing awesome as well. So, man, I would say it's a 50-50, man.
Yeah,
It's a 50-50.
He don't want to put his foot in his mouth.
Look, when we went on that trip to Jamaica, I mean, she was right there with us.
Yeah.
Whether we were falls or falls,
Yeah.
She
she
was
was
there.
right there with us. And
Wasn't scared.
and I'm like,
No,
I'm
she
like,
she
wow.
ride and die though.
I was shocked though.
She
I,
ride and die.
I didn't know she had it in her.
She gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
She gonna do it.
It's just that sometimes she has her days when she would slack off, and then she gets right back into it.
Yeah, everybody has those.
I don't know if it's. I just think she just worries about that treadmill,
But she's doing so well on it now.
and that's the thing. Like she
She's
could
the-
conquer it,
Yeah.
but like once Andrew started, like it was the same thing for me too. Cause you get comfortable like running at like 5.5 miles or 6,
Okay.
and then he just leans over there and he's like, "Come on, man, up."
Yeah.
And then you're like, "Oh man."
Yeah.
So it seems like you go into plateaus. So what happens when you get to that plateau? When you get to that point where you're comfortable at this, and you
That's
don't
when
want
he hypes you up more.
Yes, I would have. Yes. For example, Marlon, I see you. You're one of the people who you'd get into a plateau. You got into a plateau the other day, and we need to get you back on track, even though you started strong again. Wow. What I would do personally, I'll call them out. I call them out big time.
I think that's something he does too.
Yeah, I call them out, and you got to get called out. Man. This isn't a bunch of roses.
Check.
You gotta work. It's
Check.
work time. So you gotta call them out. You gotta make them uncomfortable sometimes, so they know that they gotta go work on something and come back stronger. If not, they're gonna stay in that position, and they're not gonna get the results they wanted. And one of the things I always say to them when I see them slacking is, "You're wasting your money, and then they'll step it up." That's what I say to them. I literally say that to them.
Money matters.
Yeah, money matters.
Especially with my brother.
Yeah.
But that's no, that,
Sister.
he don't tell me that. You know what he tells me? He go, "Yo, Marlon's at 12."
Yes.
Or he goes, "Yo, Dwayne, you're weak."
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, "What?"
Yep. Then they gotta step it up.
Ex-athlete, so that makes sense.
So that boosts
Competition.
me up. Competition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you just gotta push them, man. You just gotta push people to be the best version of themselves. Why I do this? I do this out of passion. I literally want to see them achieve the best results, that they can achieve. Try to be in the best shape of your life. I literally want all my clients to get to that point. This is for a lot of personal trainers, and they get called out on it, and other people notice. And you can tell when it's just about the money for them.
Yeah.
It's just about the money. It's just about, the recognition or whatever. For me, I want to see people. It's such a great feeling to see my clients get from point A, which they were in a bad shape or whatever, and then they get to point B, being in the best shape of their lives. It's such a great feeling for me.
Yeah, especially you take it as a lifestyle.
It's such a
Like
great
a lifestyle
it's,
change.
It's such a great feeling to know that, yo, bro, you did that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got him to tap into himself and push to the level that he's on right now. It's such a great feeling. It's such a great feeling. I can't describe it. It's great.
Yeah, you get a self-worth about
Exactly what I do. Yep.
and you're giving people an extension on their life.
Exactly.
That's the best thing.
Yep.
Yeah, because a lot of us have like stuff in our traits in our family
Yeah.
that could hit us at any moment.
Yep.
But a lot of people tend for it to hit them, and then that's when they want to change their lifestyle. They want to change their eating. They want to do this and that. But
Exactly.
why wait? Start now.
Exactly.
And it's when I first started, with Andrew, and you know, when God puts you around people, He puts you around people for a reason.
Definitely.
You don't understand why, but He put you around people for a reason. Because I remember when I first met Andrew, and you know, we did the Wayne and everything, and he was like, "Well, it's gonna be XYZ for 4 sessions." I was like, "Wow, well, I mean, I think we can manage that." But you know, that's the good thing about, you know, the God we serve. When He want, you know, prior to that, the Lord was telling me, like, know ye that your body is a living temple.
Yeah.
You know, and when you think about your body being a temple that houses the Holy Ghost, there's something you have to take care of. There's something that's precious. And I was like listening to that, and I never really like grasped it. And I was like, eh. And then I know Marlon started, and I saw Marlon was going like ham in the gym. So I was like, yo, who's your trainer? And then Marlon put me on Andrew. And then I was like sitting there, like, when he gave me the figure for like me and my wife, I was like, man, it's another bill. Because I'm trying to eliminate bills.
Yeah.
And then, bro, let me tell you, man, since I started, I had no issue. You can ask him. And that's everything. It's just God making the connection and God just continue blessing us. You know, because, you know, just like the topic today, insecurities. If you let that insecurity get you down, you'll never start.
No.
You know, think about men in the Bible, David, you know, Samson. You know, Samson was a beast. You know, Samson didn't just get there. You know, he got his strength from God, you know, and he had to maintain it. So when he's lifting stuff, doing that, he's maintaining his weight.
Yep.
You know, he's eating. And all that was maintaining his weight.
Yep.
So, you know, once you have that insecurity in you, it will like diminish you. It will bring you down. But we have to get over it. And it's just like Andrew always say, you get to a point sometime where you get comfortable, like just like on a treadmill, and he's pushing you past that because your body can go past that.
Exactly.
Your body is made to go past that.
Exactly.
And to take that pressure on. You know, so.
That's pretty much where it matters in working out in the fitness industry. In order to make it work for you, you have to push your body to a place that it's never been before in order to achieve a result. Dwayne just made a point on something that I wanted to add too. It was like the second thing that brought me into the world of fitness, and I wanted this to be a very important topic also to the people who are tuning in. And it's health-wise, right? So I'm the last of four, all brothers, and I remember a couple years ago where, you know, the whole entire family, we were going through a tough situation with my oldest brother. Chris, if you're watching, remember, bro, keep your diet and your lifestyle good. My oldest brother, Christopher, was living a unhealthy lifestyle, sedentary lifestyle. He was just going through the days not caring what he eats and not taking care of himself, you know, with his health. It got to the point where he developed, he got diabetes, high blood pressure, and his arteries got clogged up. You know, his arteries and all that stuff got clogged up. So it got to the point where, you know, it looked like he was gonna die. And I remember, you know, how everything was with the family and everyone. It was just a sad moment where everyone started to panic. You know, everyone started panic like, wow, Chris is going to die. You know what I'm saying? And I remember how sad it was and how depressing that time was, you know, that he needed a surgery and the cost for it was a lot of money, and we didn't know how we were going to help him to get to that point where he had to go do this. Thank God for my relatives in Boston, my aunt Jenny and my uncle Marty. They were able to help him to, you know, get the surgery done. So he went up, got the surgery, and you know what, you know, I saw something that told me that, yo, bro, this is not going to be you, and you also need to help other people to not get to that point. What happened was they had to split his chest open, his entire chest all the way open, and I saw some pictures of my brother, bro, with his I'm sorry to say this, but you guys got to understand, his intestines and everything and his chest open and all that stuff. It was such an uncomfortable thing to see, you know, one of the people that brought me up to, you know, being in that position with all the tubes down and all. Oh man, it was such a horrible time. And I was like, Jesus, no, this isn't this. No, why? You know what I'm saying? I was there questioning a lot of things, man. I was like, yo, this is not going to happen to me, and you also need to help a lot of people in the future with this health thing, you know. So yeah, Chris, remember, bro.
Yep. Health is your wealth.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So we
And,
have this question from a guest, Laura Ridney. It says,
Pastor.
my apologies, Pastor Laura Ridney. So then, are you saying that your physical condition is an indication of your mental health?
Uh, Definitely. It starts with your mind, making a decision that you want to change and you want to become more. I was listening to this, because I listen to self-development videos every single day. And
Les Brown.
Les Brown's my favorite speaker. And it all starts with the mind. You got to develop your mind to be in a certain position to help you to be whoever you want to be, you know? Which brings me back to something that I heard, and it's true. This is a very true topic. I think Jim Rome said it, and the saying was like, if you should divide all the money in the world with like all human beings, right? That money, all that money would end up back in the same pockets. You know?
Yes.
The money that's divided up in everybody, you know, is gonna end up right back in the pockets of the people who were able to develop their mindset and to work on themselves. You know? So that's the same thing. It starts with you. It begins and ends with you. You know, you got to develop your mindset. If you are someone that if you're someone that like doesn't listen to personal development videos and you don't work on yourself, you don't try, you don't physically, literally try to go out and try something new, then you're going to stay in the same position. You're going to stay in the same position, and you're not going to execute whatever you have to execute. So you got to work on yourself. You got to work on your mental, you know, and execute. You know, for me, when I wake up every single day, for the first 15 minutes, I listen to personal development videos because it helps me to or should I say, it helps me to make my business expand, and it also helps me to be a better communicator. It helps me to learn more. It helps me to deal with a lot of things in life, you know, like tough situations. Turn a blind eye to a lot of things. You know what they say, bite your lip and turn a blind eye. It helps me a lot, and you'd be surprised how much, you know, these personal development videos can help you guys with fitness, with your job, with your relationship, with so many things.
Insecurities.
Insecurities, you know.
It's a big thing, man. It honestly, like, once you start seeing like a change in your body, you start to feel like for a while I didn't see the change, and I was like at one point like, man, I'm tired. I'm going to this thing and I ain't see no change until one day
Frustration.
I looked in the mirror and I looked at a picture and I go, yo,
It's a big drop.
no, it's a big difference.
Yeah.
And then like my shirt was like loose, and I sent him a picture with a bunch of clothes like I like took out my closet. Like I had clothes in my closet like my wife bought for me, like they wouldn't even fit. Even like my pastor bought me some button-up shirts. I'm like, yeah man, we're good man. Never fit. Buttons is like about to pop, and now I put them on and they fit perfect.
Yeah.
And you know it makes you feel good. You know, it makes you feel good as an individual. You know, and I'm sure, like, you know, with our Christian walk, you know, health is your wealth, man. The more healthy you feel, you know, the better you're gonna feel.
Exactly.
Matthew, you're pondering. What are you pondering over here? I see you looking up in the sky, like.
Well,
like,
it's based off what you said, because you saw a physical change, your mentality changed.
Yeah. It
Now,
does.
my thing is, let's say you're working on your mental health. How would you? With the physical, you can see it, but the mental, unless somebody I feel like sometimes, unless somebody tells you or like, yo, remind you, how would you even notice that change? Because when you're going through it, it's like you just feel like you're just going through. And then it's like I feel like sometimes it takes somebody else to make you recognize your mental change.
Yeah, because people are gonna look at you and they're gonna say, "Yo,
when
man."
it comes to physical, you can see it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't see it for a while. People was telling me like, "Yo, man, you look like you're losing weight," and I was like, I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't seeing it until like one day I just looked in the mirror and I go, yo, my face looks slim. And I was like, wow. And then Andrew was like, always like, yo, don't weigh yourself, don't weigh yourself, don't weigh yourself.
Yeah.
And then one day I was in the bathroom at a chiropractor office and I saw the scale and I was like, you step on this thing. I was like, yo. And it just motivated me more. Because even like when we were in Jamaica, I was running every day. You know, I was running in the morning. I even sent them videos and I was out there running.
stop.
And it becomes a lifestyle. You start to, you feel excited. And like the other day, like I looked in the mirror again, like we're working out and I was like swinging the ball. I was looking at my arms. I'm like, what? What a definition? And it motivates you more.
Yeah, to push
and you know, and you actually start to see what you become, what you can become. You know, and it's just the same thing in church. We all started, you know, but till we start and keep going, you get better. You know, and the more better you get, the stronger you get in the spiritual sense. You know, and
Well, I think just like you say, mentality,
Yeah, it's a
mental
big
wise,
thing.
you're gonna know that the hurt is gonna come. The change of your lifestyle is gonna make you feel uncomfortable. So before you see results, you're gonna feel that first. But to actually see the result, you're gonna have to go through like 2 weeks of pain and uncomfortability until
weeks
something
ain't
pokes out. Until something's like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
something is happening.
Yeah, that's just life in general, man. If you want to get to a worthwhile point in life, it's going to be tough to get there. You're going to go through some tough times, you know. Yeah, but during those tough times, you accumulate nuggets. You learn a lot.
you learn a lot.
You know, you learn a lot to know
I
that
learned a lot.
you'll never get back to that point. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say if you divide up all the money in the world, it gets right back in the same pockets. Because those people were able to go through all the tough times and whatever they had to do to make sure that they're not gonna get back to that. You know what I'm saying? How many people that, you know, you would hear over the years that, you know, after they win the lotto, they're broke right after that.
Oh yeah, that's common.
Cause it's quick.
It's common.
Yeah, it's
because
common.
they haven't worked on themselves.
Yeah.
You know, they can't
Same
have. They can't.
mentality.
Yeah, they can't. They're. If you went, if they win $40 million, the person's not a $40 million person.
They don't-
You know what I'm saying? They got a $10 or $40 million with a $10 mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Yeah.
That's facts.
You got to work on your mindset. Got to read the books. You know. Got to read the books. Listen to the audibles if you don't like to read. You know. You know.
Audibles are good though.
Yeah.
You know, you get some good motivation out of them.
Sponsor us, please.
Yep. I want to appreciate everybody for tuning in. You know, if you don't mind, please share the video. You know, good night to everyone. We have tonight with us Andrew Smith. He's a personal trainer, and now he's going to talk about insecurities in a relationship. Let's get hot.
All right.
We already done told everybody who he was.
All right. So I got 10, these are basically tips that, you know, that pretty much occur in relationships. And these are things that we want to try and avoid, you know, in order to try and have a healthy relationship with, you know, your partner. All right, let me kick things off with tip number 1. Don't judge your current relationship based on your previous relationship.
That's true.
How many of us go into the other relationship with bruises from the from the past relationship, and then when you get into that new relationship, you got the shield up because you think this person is gonna come and beat you up. I've been there quite, you know, a lot of times where, you know, I've been hurt in the past, and I just think every girl in the future is gonna hurt me. And I just have this big shield up, and, you know, I didn't realize it was actually hurting the relationship even more. You know, that's something that we should work on. Just give the other person a chance, the new person. Give them a chance, you know? Let your guard down, and, you know, if even if it so happened that the person is the same type, at least you're able to put on a thick skin to be able to deal with it. You got to have thick skin. That's how life is. You gotta have thick skin. So just try to have thick skin and go through it, and just try not to treat every relationship as.
Somebody sang that song. You remind me of a girl. Da-da. And then once you see the resemblance, you're like, bye bye.
Yes, yeah, I know. So try not to bring your past in future relationships. Tip number 2. Don't confuse imagination with reality. All right, so don't go around, paranoid, trying to go through your partner's text messages, emails, Facebook, all that.
Mode.
Yes, don't do that. I've done it before. Yes, I've done it in the past. Yep, and I've been in past relationships where did it, she did. So, and it only creates more problems. It creates more problems, and it makes you question a lot of things with your partner. You know what I'm saying? You come through
Insecurity.
Exactly, and
Do you think that you could fabricate a problem just by thinking it into existence?
That's true.
Exactly.
Like it doesn't even exist.
It doesn't even exist.
It doesn't exist, but you bring it in.
You bring it in,
Yeah,
and it sort of becomes a reality just from out of your mindset.
yeah.
So that's something that you guys should want to try and stay away from. You know what I'm saying? Stay away from it, because you might even stumble on something that wasn't even meant to be in a certain way,
Derogatory,
in a way,
you took
but
it the wrong way.
you took it in as that, and
Because
then
you're looking for something.
because you're looking for something. Like for example, I remember a long time ago, I was in this group chat with some friends or whatever, and a friend sent a picture of a girl, which was, she looked a certain way, and the partner went in my text message, and she saw it, and she thought I was doing that stuff. I was like, no, dude, send it to her. She didn't want to believe that. She already made up her mind, said that that's what you're doing. That's what I'm saying. So, and it wasn't even. She literally made a problem out of something that wasn't even there. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, don't go snooping through your partner's text messages, emails, and all that stuff. Tip number 3: stop trying to mind read. Yes, stop trying to mind read. Stop trying to come up with these assumptions and all that stuff. It's as plain as that. I don't even have to go in depth with that. Just stop trying to mind read. Stop trying to assume. If you're unsure about your partner is cheating, whatever, ask about it. Are you cheating on me, whatever? Well, and you're able to deal with it based off a response. So
I find it weird that you actually went through your partner's phone.
yeah.
Fun fact. It's not even a fun fact. It's a real fact.
Yeah.
Me and this guy's born in the same day. September 8th.
Yeah.
That's our birthday.
Yes.
But I was born 80 and he was
8.
88.
Oh, no. You're talking year. 91. I'm a young guy.
91 and I'm
Yeah.
80. I don't ever think I did that.
Yeah. I did it once. It was just one girl that I did it with, and it was my girlfriend from high school. We were together for years and years and years and years, and we're still friends up to this day. And she was just like the person who I thought that I was going to spend the rest of my life with. And then there was some unfortunate events that went down, and I just thought that I had to see what's going on, because I
One
can't.
issue they always just say about me, I act like I don't care.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, you're not jealous, you know. Like I could be like, oh, I'm going down the street with such and such.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I developed that loyalty and trust. And when you break it, I just look at you different.
Yeah.
I just think that's like a whole like Virgo mindset.
Yes.
Like I trust you 100%.
Yeah.
I look at you like, yo, you my ace, but the minute you
Cross that line.
Yeah.
I dress for you different now.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't really think it's based off. I ain't got this astrology thing. I don't really think it's based off that.
Well,
It's
that's-
based how you were raised. If you're raised in a trusting household, because I do believe in nature versus nurture, and to extent, and I believe yes that could be whatever, but I find it more that it's based off how you were raised. Because if you were raised in a household where you see your mother or your father doing untrustworthy things,
And that's
you're gonna
how you
have
brought
that mindset. Now, if you were raised in that household where your mother or your father or both of them are very, very, they're trusting to the extent like I'll give you that chance, but the moment the moment you screw up, I'm done. That's the type of mindset you're gonna take on.
All
If
right.
you're on that mindset where I'm willing to forgive you countless times, you might just get a version like, yo, I can't let somebody walk over me like that.
But you know
So
what I
I'm gonna
noticed?
be.
I noticed that society plays a big role in insecurities nowadays. With a lot of the programming, you know, with even like commercials and what's on
Yeah.
TV,
Yep.
they implant certain things in people's minds.
Well,
Yeah.
there's that, but I feel like it first started at home.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's like
Yeah, it
if you were
should.
raised by, again, in a household where the both parent, or even just
Which is very
if it's
rare.
one parent,
Yeah.
is very know who they are and at least and will stand up and say, I will not accept this or I will not accept that. I'm willing to trust you to this extent. I'm not saying that I'm gonna give you. And then there's some who's like, I'm willing to trust you completely. If you're raised in that household, you're gonna either develop a mindset like, I like that, I'm going to follow it, or I will, I'm going to go completely against it. Now, his mindset is kind of similar to mine. I don't know how you were raised, but I'm the type of person who will give you the blind. I might give you more than he does, but when you cross that line with me,
There's no more to give.
No return.
there is absolutely, it's very hard for me to like say, all right, I could fully trust you again, because a part of me, a part of my mind, for me is a part of that just died. It's like
And what's your horoscope
that
again?
trust.
Nah, I just joking.
I was born Gemini, so I don't know what that is. But for me, it's like a part. It's like it's part of it died, and because
Part of
I'm a
it's gone.
Christian, I try to turn it around, but still, it's dead. I'm still just trying to. I'm learning to
People
forgive.
need to understand that you're a human being at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yep.
And you ain't gonna just keep walking on me like a rug man.
Yes. True.
Tip 4.
True. All right. So tip number 4: once you ask, don't keep asking.
Yo, you come with some serious tips
Yes.
tonight, bro.
Once these are literally things that I've been through personally, and I've learned from. Once you ask, don't keep asking. You know, if you're
I think that's one thing I do. Ask over and over and over. And over.
yes, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta just ask. I've been in it a lot of times, and I think for me, what happened was again anxiety. Anxiety comes up, your heart's starting to race. You be like, "Oh my God, is this really going on?" Or, "Hey, are you cheating on me?" Or, "Hey, or what's going on with
Something.
yeah, what's going on?" And then 5 minutes later, you're like, "No, tell me for real, what's going on?" You know, just ask once, because that just makes you look.
It devalues you as a man.
Exactly, and your partner starts to look at you in a different light. You don't want to be that, you don't want to be that weak guy that she no longer looks up to like that. You know,
if
she
you're
needs
gonna second guess everything,
insecure.
exactly, exactly,
My
exactly, because it'll play out. So if you're not sure about something, ask. Whatever she responds with at the time, if it even if it's not that, it's going to play out down the line.
Yeah.
So you don't have to ask 5-10 times on the same thing.
Overkill.
Yeah. So, I get it. You really want to know in the moment. You want to know now, because you're trying to make some form of rational decision or whatever. But, just ask it one time and that's it, So that's it for tip number 4. Tip number 5, your relationship needs room to breathe. Yes.
Say it again.
Yes, your relationship needs room to breathe.
Can you expand on that a little bit?
All right, so when I say needs room to breathe, I mean in terms of, man, go out with the buddies, man. Go out, have a drink, go play some soccer, go to the gym. Allow her to have her little lady time.
Have a what?
No,
Have a drink?
I mean, Herbalife drink.
Be Herbalife.
Herbalife, a Herbalife drink. Yeah, have a Prolessa shot. You know,
Alright.
yeah, you gotta have room to breathe, man. Go out.
Miss them.
Exactly. Let them miss you, because if you're there all the time, you know, a while they're gonna be like, yo.
They say absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Exactly. You know, so
That's something I had to work on.
Yeah.
I had to work on that like real hard.
Yeah.
And my wife have a best friend, and then she would at least be gone. Like, I think I was kind of jealous then.
Yeah.
I could admit that point. I kind of got jealous this point in my relationship. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
But I overcame it.
Yeah.
Wait, so
I overcame that insecurity.
I'm curious though. You said that earlier. I could have sworn earlier in the
I
conversation.
wasn't like that in the past. I wasn't like that in the past. No. I didn't have time to like focus my energy on like someone like that. Because I feel like when it comes to like my time or your time, I take that personal.
Yes.
And if the timing is not like, I'm not gonna stress when you're gone, or if you're hanging out, if you're doing this, I'm not. It just doesn't matter.
Yes.
I ask a lot of questions. I might ask over and over and over to see if the answer might change. Because if it changes, then I know that okay, there's something going on, and then I have an idea. But I just think that's just me. But as far as like, I'm not gonna blow your phone up or nothing like that.
Which step was that again? It's like when you ask me.
Well, that tip number 4 was once you ask, don't keep asking. And tip number 5 is your relationship needs room to breathe. Gotta have a breather, you know. Let them miss you. I mean, a lot of the times it's the complete opposite of what he went through. A lot of times in the start, you want to be around your partner all the time, and it kind of dies
mine
down.
wasn't the start.
Yeah, kind of dies down after the years
Mine
go
is
by.
now. Like,
That's amazing that it's now. That's
That-
amazing.
That's crazy.
it's just facts. I mean, it's facts. I'm not lying.
It's amazing that
Like
it's
I was never home like the first, I want to say 5, 6, 7, 8 years of
Yes.
my marriage. It's like I was always with my boys, like
Yeah,
hanging out around the shop,
Yeah.
drinking. That's what we did.
crazy. That's crazy. Normally in the start, you're like, oh my god, I can't be without you. I gotta be all the time.
Well, I think it goes. I was like that initially in the first part of it.
Mm.
In the middle, I was like,
You were out.
couldn't be to the house.
Yeah.
And then now, I'm glued at the house.
Yeah, that's like me. Like
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, gentlemen, let me move on to tip number 6. Understand that relationships aren't roses and puppies. Why I say that? It's going to be tough, guys. It's going to be tough.
it's called a relationship.
Yes, it's going to be tough, but that's what a lot of people don't understand. They don't understand that there's going to be very, very tough times, and that's the time when you know that you really want to be able to stick through the hard times no matter what. You know, personally, I've made mistakes in the past where I wasn't of the mindset at the time, and I sort of let things not
But you
work.
learned from them.
Exactly, but I learned from it. But you know, it's going to be tough. You know, it's going to be tough, but it's for you to suck it up and push forward and empower your partner to keep moving on, because it's going to be better days in the future. You know. All right, so that's it for tip number 6. All right, so tip number 7. All right. Tip number 7.
Took a breath on that one.
Kind of.
Going somewhere.
Don't
now.
be scared, man.
Going somewhere.
All right, so no, it's pretty simple. Go with your gut. Yes, go with your gut or your instinct. You know, a lot of the times when you go with your gut, you know, it pretty much proves, you know, when you go with your gut, 9 times out of 10, you know, sometimes you just gotta trust that feeling that you have inside. You know, if you feel that something,
right?
yeah, if you feel like something is really not going right or whatever, you just gotta.
I always thought that was a woman thing.
No, man, it's not.
Woman's intuition.
Intuition, yeah.
No, it's not, bro. It's
It
not.
works for men too.
Of course.
Well, the guys don't really listen to it because ego.
Ego.
True. That's the biggest problem. Ego, macho man.
Because they think, I remember I was listening to this comedian. He was like, yeah, so I was messing with this chick, and she told me in the beginning that she crazy.
She
And
told you she's crazy?
the comedian said that they were talking, and she told him in the get-go, "I am crazy."
Donovan,
Yes, sir.
I think some of the times he talk about comedians and try to make stories up,
talking
but I think
about
it's just himself.
I
Yeah,
think so,
I'm
too.
starting to notice that.
He's the comedian. He's the
So you were
comedian.
talking to a chick and she told you she was a psycho.
So she said that she was a psycho. I'm basing this off comedians. And I was to my point.
Oh, that's good.
And during he ends up getting burnt. It's like she burnt his clothes, did a lot of other stuff, and he's like, "What happened?" I told you I was crazy. So it's like,
You believe me?
it's an ego thing. It's like, even though the situation is saying, "Yo, I'm right here,"
Yeah, that's true.
nah, I think I can handle it.
Definitely.
Like,
That's it.
I'm right here.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm showing you that I'm crazy.
Yeah.
And she actually came out the gate and told him what time it is.
Exactly. So
And he
it's
still
like,
fought for it. He still went for it.
He interpreted crazy to be something else, a good crazy.
He might thought she was. He might thought she was a crazy freak.
Yeah. Where are we again? Oh man.
All right.
All right, let's move on to the other one. All right. Very important. Very, 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 very important. The only person responsible for your happiness is you. You're the only person responsible for it. You know, in the past, wow, man.
You know something? We got a lot of female on the panel tonight. Let me see some questions, please. We're on tip 7?
Yeah, well,
Come on now. Let me
this
see
one's
some
8.
questions. Ask some
Eight.
questions.
Actually,
you
only have
ask
one
nothing
left.
on intuition?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. So repeat that tip one more
All
time.
right, so the tip is the only person responsible for your happiness is you. Yes, it's you. It's you. It's up to you to know that if the relationship isn't working and you've tried so many times, it's up to you to know that you have to let it go. You know, it's for your own sake, for your happiness. for
And
your
how you
own
let it
peace
go
of-
though?
Listen, a lot of times people feel trapped in their relationships. Like they think they can't do without that person.
Wow,
You know?
that's true.
They get trapped in it and they think they can't do without that person, and they keep themselves within that should I say relationship. Like I heard Les Brown say it, like he was talking about this lady. She's a speaker also. She's a prolific speaker. He knows she can speak and all that stuff, but her husband was the problem. He held her back from pursuing her dreams, basically. And it was a tough thing for him to watch her go through that with her husband. So he stepped in and he was like bro, like your wife, she's an amazing speaker. I've heard her speak a lot of times. I've read a lot of her content and everything, and she's amazing. Why do you think it's not for her? And the husband was like, hey, give me a second. Yeah, the husband was like, yo, no, Les, you're so good at this. You're like, you're the greatest at it. You're whatever. But Les Brown was like, no, that's not how it is. I started out from the bottom too. You know what I'm saying? Don't let your ego get into this, and don't tell the woman what she can or cannot do. You don't know if she can be one of the greatest speakers of all time. Stop holding her back, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's a toxic relationship that it's up to her to know that in order for her to open her wings, she's got to let it go. And it ended that she divorced the guy. They had to go through the divorce.
I believe that 100%.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't be telling no grown woman, you could go now, leave now, come now.
Exactly.
I don't believe in that.
Exactly.
Like, you must give them room to do what they want to do.
Yeah, you can't hold.
And then, you should know who you're with.
Yeah.
You
can't hold.
And that's the best thing. A lot of people don't know their spouse. They don't know them.
Yeah.
And they never took the time out. They never took the time out to get to know them. And then that's why they go through so much insecurities. That's why so much stuff bothers them. That's why like if my wife is hanging out with Minister Donovan, it won't bother me because I know my wife. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the key thing. You have to get to know your spouse. And until you know your spouse, you're going to always have these insecurities. You're going to always be checking their phone, and calling up on them every second.
For how long?
You know, and it just it becomes a contention.
Yes.
And then you guys are just always like going at each other's head like boom, 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 boom. And it's like, it's just not healthy.
It's not worth it.
Not healthy.
It's not a healthy thing.
It's like eating Burger King every day. Not healthy.
Or Dunkin' Donuts.
This mic on.
Shaniel, I see you too. Oh man.
Yeah, that was one of me and my wife thing every morning.
Yeah.
DD.
No.
All right.
No, brother. But yes, very important, man. Yeah, you can't, hold anyone back from pursuing their dreams. Pretty much, your spouse, your friend, whatever. You don't know.
Well, somebody hasn't started it.
Exactly. You don't know.
And you're killing that dream.
You're killing the dream.
Well, some people might. They're just afraid that that person has a little bit more shine than them. You get what I'm saying? So they I mean, I believe if they know the person, if they've been with the person, they know that person was the potential that person has. But sometimes just to hold that person back and shine
Lock it up.
Yeah.
But look at David. Remember, David was dancing around the city till he became naked. And his wife said to him, "You should be ashamed of yourself." But David was a praiser.
Yes.
That's what his thing was. That's what his things was. And that's what's locked up inside of him. How you going to try and hold a praiser down? You can't.
Yes.
And what the Lord did, locked up her womb.
Yeah.
You want to talk against the man?
Yeah.
I'm going to show you. Locked up his womb, locked up her womb. So, that's you can't kill. It's just like my son, man. It used to annoy me watching him like play video games. Like,
All the time.
good God, bro! Like, when you gonna put this down? But think about it.
Don't start
The game he's playing, somebody's created it.
Yeah.
Who could never know that he might grow up and be the best creator ever in creating animation and video games and stuff?
True.
So like, his grades are up, bruh. Do your thing.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna force him to go down the road I went.
Yeah.
You know why? There's other. He has this stuff locked up inside of him. So do your thing.
Exactly. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was it was from an audible that I was listening to. It was a female writer, and it's very sad that I can't even remember her name. But the book is I remember exactly, but it's basically saying like you're cool at life, or you're cool at making money or whatever. I don't remember exactly what the book was called. It was a talking about basically society and how society forces you into conforming to rules of society. For example, I mean, a lot of the majority of successful people, why they're in the position that they're in now, is because of a lot of risks being taken.
Exactly.
Outside the box.
Exactly. They've made the leap to, it's either do or die. It's either win or fail.
Definitely.
And she was speaking in regards to how, even the family background, how the family would try to prevent you from making mistakes, but at the same time, it's crippling you.
Yeah.
And how many times when you're growing up, you're probably like, hey, listen, I'm going to take out a big loan and purchase a house. Now, everybody in the household is going to be like, do not do it.
Definitely.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Or you're going to be like, yo, I'm going to jump out of a plane with a chute. Everybody's going to be like, don't do it. And that it's a society. Everybody is like going down on your back, and you think this is the safe way to go by doing things. So you grow up trying to stay. You're trying to keep yourself on the safe side all the time, but you're actually crippling yourself from opening your wings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So you want to be a CEO for somewhere. If you go around with the same type of mentality and same type of mindset towards trying to get to that point, you're never going to get there. You gotta open up. And also, you know, I can't remember her name, Jen something. I can't remember the name. It was such a great book to read, and it helps you a lot to understand that. Listen, you can't just conform to society's rules. Step outside, and you know, take the risk.
That's a big
Take the
one.
risk.
Big.
Take the risk.
Speaking of taking risks, it's like sometimes, because I personally know, I had an opportunity to make a certain move, and when I started thinking about the reality of it, I'm like, I don't know the language. It's so far away from everything that I know,
Mhm.
and I'm still questioning if I should make the move because I have the opportunity to do it.
So you have insecurities.
So let me ask this question real quick. I'm not trying to call you, but what held you back?
Well,
What were you scared of? What were you scared of? Like, what would happen? Like, what were you scared of happening if you didn't pursue it?
well, the thing is, if I didn't pursue it, I felt like I've always been taught since I was young that family is everything, and I feel like the moment I made that, because I really thought about it. It's like, what could be the reason? And I felt like if I make, because I'm a person who don't usually talk, I just go ghost on you for however long, and then it's like I've always been around my family, so I didn't have to do that. And I felt like when I make that move, I'll be so focused in what I'm doing that it might be 20 years before I can see my family again, or even longer, because I will be so focused in doing that that family would be put on a burner. I wouldn't even, and I've been raised to like the unit. It's all about the unit. It's all about family.
oriented, yeah.
This family is everything, and then it's like, but when I'm like driven to do something that I'm really passionate about, I stop because I don't, even though I'm about family, when it comes to certain things that I like doing, if I don't have people around me also pushing me to do it, and I start doing it, but I like having being incorporating people into whatever I do because I don't want to do it by myself. Not because I can't do it, because I feel like the vision could be
The input
enhanced.
from others, yeah.
And when I started doing things for myself, I stopped caring about everything else around me because I'm so narrow. I get narrow-minded, one-track mind. So it's like everything else around me is like, oh, it's pretty much behind me.
Yeah.
And it's like that's the thing that I'm fearful of. Is like because I know how I get sometimes about things I get really focused on, and it's like I don't know if everybody could keep up with me on certain things, and that I know that if I make that big trip, sorry, mom, dad, sister, brother, you won't be hearing from me for.
Well, Ruth then just gave you the peace sign.
Yeah, and it's like they trying to tell me like, yeah, go for it, but
that's good though.
It's the
They're trying to
opposite.
boost you.
It's like it's the opposite because for them they're like, yeah, go for it, go for it. But I'm like, you're not understanding the type of mindset I'm going. The moment I do this is like, you will not know me for the next however long because I'm just trying to get this thing done. And it's like, because I got so many things I want to work on, and it's like, I know that when I start on one, that's it.
Man, but well, listen, you have to do it. You have to go into it, man. You can't let that whatever's holding you back keep you back. You never know what other avenues might open up for you while you're doing it. Like literally while you're physically there doing it, you'll just see these doors starting to open up and you're like, whoa, I didn't know that was going to happen or that was going to happen. So many things. Like for example, with the personal training thing now and helping people, I didn't know some of these things that have been happening to me, great things, I didn't know they were going to happen. You know, the people I get to meet and all that stuff, it's such a wonderful thing. I wasn't planning for that. I just had one goal and one thing, and these other roads started opening up. You know, for example, I'm here. I'm here.
That's true.
You know, I'm here.
Doors just opening.
Yeah, I'm here. Who to know that this could be a big thing for someone on my Instagram live now? They saw it and they could connect with what I'm saying, and then that could be boom. You know.
Well, that's why even though I didn't make that move, I'm trying to do certain things that I felt like it's not self-driven, but more spirit. Cause I'm like, I reached a point where I'm like, yo, I can't. I know that this is self-driven, and I know that the thing that I wanted to do is very self-driven, and it's like there's no God. God was not like the focal point for this. This is what my desire, what I wanted to do.
It's a personal thing.
It's a personal thing, like
Because your mom basically just said, "Do what you have to do. We, the family, will be able to cope." So
Yeah,
she's saying bye.
exactly. I understand that, but what I'm saying is like that's why I'm trying to do certain things that are more group based instead of like self based. Because I'm like, God, I don't want to do something that's self driven if you're not in it. And I will definitely do it, Mom. Just so you know, the first goal is still gonna get done, but not in the way that I originally planned. Because that's what this is pretty much what this was for. The podcast, because I didn't want to just do something for myself. I want to incorporate other people so they can grow alongside with me. And I feel like this platform, it still came out of selfish desire because I have a lot of insecurities and I'm trying to work on myself. And I know that I couldn't stand therapy. That stuff is like.
You gonna later talk to no shrink.
No, it's like it's like I analyzed the thing. I tried it before, and it's like kudos for those who actually do that and pay like that monthly fees and stuff like that. This is free for me, so it's like, and it's like I'm able to get across certain things, and even just by me sitting, because you see me sitting here, don't mean that I'm not taking in anything you guys say, because that actually helped me. Because at one point I was like stumbling, like what could I have done better back then? And I hear from what you guys are saying, it actually caused me like say, you know what? I finally know how I could have fixed that situation, and I know what to do now. And back in the day, it's like I really was struggling with some of the stuff that you guys covered tonight, and even in the previous things that. Yeah, people, you didn't get it in therapy, but they wouldn't drawn out so much money out of you that it's like you you're pretty much figuring it out on your own. And with this, I am definitely figuring it out, but at least I know that it's not just me alone going through it.
Other people going through it.
There's other people going through it, and that I thank you again. What was it again? Andrew.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry with names.
Me too. Trust me. Me too.
But your personal therapist. No, I mean trainer.
Yeah.
Personal therapist.
Yeah, I am.
I know, right?
I am a personal therapist.
He's a personal therapist.
Yeah, who promotes
Healthy lifestyle.
Healthy
Yes.
lifestyle.
And where do you work again?
Like, what am I?
No, it's like your central hub for anybody who wanna.
Yes.
Live a healthy lifestyle. For anyone who pretty much wants to be stronger mentally. For anyone who wants to be a step ahead in life, pretty much, just to help people to become a better version of themselves, and along the way, it's not even that I'm helping people, I'm also helping myself while I'm doing it, because if I'm going to help somebody else on something, I have to prepare for it sometimes, and in the midst of preparing, you're actually putting more information in yourself, you're actually working on yourself while you're working on someone else, So it's at the end of the day, genuinely, I'm honestly saying that I am helping people, and I genuinely want to help people to be a better version of themselves. Sometimes it's tough because not everyone's a great person. It's just how to deal with each individual and to get them to that point where they're like, bro, thank you.
And that's one thing I can say. He does take the time out to like learn everyone individually. Because the way he pushes me, he's not gonna push the other person. You know, and that's a big kudos to him for that. And listen, man, if you wanna get a healthy lifestyle, if you got Instagram, you can follow him. It is
KOPR8TFIT.
Co-Profit.
All right, so it's Coprat Fit. All right, follow up, people. Also, on my Instagram, I post a lot of content. Health-wise, I post a lot of meals that I would consume, basically healthy meals. I post content on how your daily nutrition should be. I post content on, daily motivational stuff. You know, I post content on people who, if you're insecure about yourself, if you're insecure of how you look, I show before and after pictures of people who have been there and done that, been in the same position that you're in. If you're insecure about how you look a certain way, I'll show you a lot of people that, took the decision, made the leap and decided to change. It's all within your mind. Just change your mindset. Just literally stop thinking about what other people are going to think about you. It doesn't matter. So what? All right, so what? Someone thinks like, oh, you're fat. So what? Then what?
Yep.
Oh, you don't look good. And what else? Oh, and then you start to do what you got to do, and they laugh or whatever. They laugh for the first week. They're laughing, and you're doing your thing. Second week, third week, you're starting to look different. They're like, ah. The laugh starts to turn into a little frown for them. That's how it works.
Yep.
That's how it works. You just got to try. And even if you're failing a lot in the first stages, it's okay to fail. Thomas Edison, failed 10,000 times at trying to make a light bulb, but he found the right formula, the 10,001 time.
Yeah, we use it today.
Failed, and he didn't even look at it as failure. He looked at it as he found 10,000 ways of how to not make a light bulb.
Yep.
It's not even to say you failed. There's no, the Les Brown was saying, there's no good or bad experiences. It's just learning experiences.
Learning experience.
You learn.
Because I've been with him for like 5 months now, and I failed quite a few times. But guess what? It's just different stuff. Like you lose, like different stuff. Like the treadmill. I was fearful of the treadmill at first, but once I could see that I could push myself to continue to do it,
Would you say it's big man's kryptonite?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was my kryptonite.
It was.
I mean, I could go lift weights and all that. That was nothing. But that cardio thing, and it's not like you're doing it for like a half an hour. It's 10 minutes. And 10 minutes seems so small. That last 5 minutes ain't no joke. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because that last 5 minutes, you start like every 30 seconds, it's like 5, up 5, up 5, up 5, up 5. So I know like, come like next week or I'm gonna be up to like 9.5 soon because I already hit 8.5. I hit 8.5 for I want to say 32 seconds because when I started to go up, with 8.5 it was like close to the 10 minutes mark. And I hit 8.5, 32, for 32 seconds. So I know pretty soon I'll be at a 9.5, 10. I just got to keep pushing myself. And I'm a firm believer the program works. Herbalife, eating right. His regimen, working out with him. Like I said, I started 5 months ago, and I'm pretty much down 54 pounds. Started at 386, I'm at 332, and still going down. And I can actually see a difference.
10 pounds a month.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, and if you think, like, a lot of people might say, 5 months, 50 pounds, that's nothing. Look at 50 pounds. Like, research, like, 50 pounds.
Not even that. I mean, people eat bad over the years, right? They start at a certain time, start eating bad or whatever, and over the years they start to gain weight. So you're telling me that you expect to gain 80 pounds in the past 5 years and just expect to lose it in 1 month? Doesn't work like that. It's a process.
Yep.
It's a process.
And I always say that too. Trust the process.
You gotta trust the process. You just gotta be consistent.
If you want to get in touch with him, his name is Andrew. Like I said, he's on Instagram. You can follow him. It's Co-Profit. Also, leave your number.
Yeah. So my number is 954-449-3425. All right. Once again, 954-449-3425. Don't be afraid to reach out. Do not be afraid to reach out. Reach out with whatever goal you want to achieve. Just talk to me. Do not be scared. Don't be afraid. I'm very open. I understand pretty much whatever insecurity that you have. I've dealt with a lot of people with the same insecurity time and time again over the years. It's nothing new to me. It's nothing new, and it's nothing that I would, I'm not the type of person to judge or anything like that.
Facts.
I just want to get you to where you want to be, where you want to get to, basically. Point A to point B.
Yep. So tonight we discuss insecurities, and how to overcome it. It was a great discussion. Matthew, he was struggling with some, but now I think he's ready. Now he's ready to go. I don't think he's ready to go.
Still working on
When she say she crazy, she crazy.
Yeah, I always think that he finds like different stuff to say, but he's talking about himself.
Yes.
So
some of it.
it's this whole idea was Matthew. We just chipped in with him. We're motivating him. We're boosting him up. We're helping him out. We're helping each other out. It's a great panel, great discussion.
Yep.
We're on every Tuesday, 8 p.m. We do it for an hour. It was a great topic tonight. Appreciate Andrew for coming out.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, he's a personal trainer. Herbalife, he pushes that. You can follow him on Instagram. It's Coprafit, KOPRATFIT. And, you can reach out to him via phone at 954
449 3425.
3425.
It means you gotta work you out at the beach, at a park.
Yeah,
in the rain.
we do the
Anywhere.
beach right now. You could come out. It's actually like a free session.
Yeah, anywhere, man. Just a 10.
Yeah, we get it in.
Yep.
I'm talking about 7 o'clock Sunday morning. We out there, rain,
Sun or shine. You
shine,
you gotta
cold,
get-
hot.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
It's the Get Uncomfortable squad.
He's
Yeah.
like the United States Postal Service.
You gotta get it in, people.
So
You gotta get it in. Get the
you
work
can
in.
reach out to him. So until next Tuesday, just a conversation. Matthew, you got anything to say?
Just a conversation.
Minister Amon?
All you guys, man, men's department. We looking forward to this men's conference coming up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Come out, show your love. That's the
yeah.
conversation.
It's 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 7 p.m. Kicks off our men's conference. And we have some great speakers coming into town from Jamaica, Chicago. Come on out, 6150 West Oakland Park Boulevard at 7 p.m. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. You won't be disappointed.
Oh yeah.
Big ups, Andrew.
Oh yeah, I just remember effective Easter in Easter weekend we'll be doing a play.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's all for now.
That's it?
That's all for now.
All right. So this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 7 p.m., 6150 West Oakland Park Boulevard. Sunday morning, we start at 11. Come experience. It's a great weekend. Awesome time. Big ups to Andrew.
Thank you.
Big ups to Matthew.
Thank you guys for having
Big
me.
ups to Minister Amon. Until next week, Tuesday. Minister Hayden, we out.